Welcome back to the channel, Toyota Fanatic 81. This is part 2 of things I've learned while driving a lifted truck as a daily. And there's probably going to be 3 or 4 of these videos because I know no one is going to watch a 25 to 30 minute video with all of the points. So it's better I make a short video like this. It'll be a lot easier to digest. Point number 1 is your lifted truck becomes the new normal. Now when you decide to lift your truck, no doubt you're going to come upon the negative points about it.
Well, you know, the turning radius is gonna go down and the fuel mileage and the ride is so rough. It's not a good idea.
Well, those negative points may be true, but as soon as you do this, as soon as you lift it, put on bigger wheels and tires, that now becomes your new normal. You will adjust. You will get used to it. Yes, the turning radius does go down a little bit. Guess what? You're gonna get used to that. Yes, the fuel mileage comes down. Guess what? You're going to get used to that. All of those negative points at some point won't mean anything because you're going to adjust to the way your vehicle is. You're going to adjust to the ride quality. And I did mention in the last video that depending on the lift you choose, your ride quality may actually go up. There will always be negative points for anything that you want to do to your vehicle. But once you get those things done, it's business as usual. I had to put this on because it is cold out here. Now the second thing I learned about driving a lifted truck as a daily is that you're going to have to balance the tires, rotate the tires, and get an alignment much more often. Now this point applies more to 4-inch and 6-inch and 8-inch lifts than it does to 2.5 or 3-inch. The standard tire rotational schedule for a car is about 6,000 to 8,000 miles, and I can tell you that will not cut it with a vehicle like this. For my truck, I usually do it about every oil change, so that's about every 5,000 miles. And I know guys who do it more frequently than that. Think about 3,500 to 4,000 miles. The tires at the front and the tires at the back have slightly different jobs, which means they're not going to wear exactly the same. So you have to rotate them in order to get the even wear and get good life out of your tires. If you're taking your truck off-road, going over hills, climbing rocks, or if you're strictly on pavement but you're still hitting potholes and brushing up against curbs, any little thing can throw your alignment out. And you may not even notice at first, but after a while you'll see it in the tire tread wear. So it's really important to get your alignment checked 2, maybe up to 4 times a year, depending on what you do with your truck. Oh, and shout out to Maldonado for a great comment he made on my last video. If you're going to spend all this money on, the lift and the wheels, why would you cheap out on the tire? There's so many guys that get the cheapest tires they can get to try to save money. Well, you already spent the money for the 6-inch lift. Okay, you already bought $400 wheels. You may as well get a good set of all-terrain or mud tires. Don't cheap out on that. The third point is you might want to consider regearing if you're throwing on bigger wheels and tires. When you modify your truck like this, you're going to notice a drop in horsepower and low-end torque and fuel mileage. You're adding parts to your truck that the engineers who originally designed the thing didn't account for. And that's why you'll see a change in performance. And those changes in performance are magnified if you're towing or hauling anything. One of the ways to deal with this is getting a regear. Regearing is a big topic unto itself and it deserves its own video, so I'm not going to go into detail about that here. But luckily there's enough information online about the pros and cons of regearing and how to effectively choose your gear ratio based on your truck and what you're using it for. Now, with my current setup, I have 33s for tires and I have 20 by 11 for wheels. So I don't think I need that regear just yet. But I know the next set of tires are going to be 35s, and after that, at some point, I'm probably going to throw 37s on this. Guess what I'm going to do then? The next point is that the stock suspension components can be replaced with stronger and better aftermarket components. Now this will depend on the type of lift kit you get, because some lift kits retain many of the stock components, while other lift kits replace a lot of those components. Replacing certain things like upper control arms or tie rod ends can make your suspension last a little bit longer. And replacing your original struts with coilovers, for example, can give you much better ride quality. Now the next 4 points will be a bit more social in nature than mechanical. Point number 5 is that everyone drives a lifted vehicle now. And of course, I don't mean every single person drives a lifted vehicle. What I'm saying is different groups in society drive lifted vehicles. Okay, we all know the stereotype that lifted trucks are for farm boys in their late 20s or early 30s. And we also know that's not true anymore. We have women that drive lifted vehicles. We have visible minorities that drive lifted vehicles. And we have people of all ages. In fact, last week I saw a monster, a beast of a truck. And guess who jumped out? This dude must have been 65 years old. Okay, 65. I mean, this dude should have been driving like a Cadillac or a Mercedes, but instead of an $80,000 car, he chose to drive an $80,000 truck. The stereotype about hillbillies and lifted trucks or lifted Jeeps or lifted vehicles in general is dead. Now, this next point is kind of funny. Other drivers can get aggressive or passive aggressive when they see you on the road. If it's a person driving a normal car, you get little things like they look at you funny, like they don't like the way your truck looks, or like, you know, it looks absurd, or they don't want to let you in, they make it hard to merge. Oh, and the last one, and this one is laughable, they tailgate you if, you know, maybe they think you cut them off, so they're going to come right up behind you, right up behind this. Imagine a Mitsubishi Lancer tailgating me in my truck. It's a joke. And it gets even better if it's someone in a sports car or another lifted truck. Everyone wants to race you suddenly when you lift your vehicle. I don't know why. Like, I had a Corvette come up to me, next to me, start revving his engine. I'm like, come on, man, come on. You know, maybe if I had a Magnuson supercharger in this thing, maybe I might be able to keep up with you, but come on. You know you're gonna beat me. Why are you revving your engine asking me to race you? Or guys in other lifted trucks, you know, they'll drive up so they can see your setup, or they're driving up so you can see theirs. There's been countless times where I have guys driving up to me and looking at me. I mean, yeah, your truck might look nice, but I mean, I'm not driving up to anyone so they can see my lift. I'm just driving. If someone happens to see my ride and like it or not like it, I'm cool, I'm good. There's no way I'm speeding up or slowing down so someone can see my ride. It's never gonna happen. Point number 7 is that some guys or girls who have lifted trucks don't even know what they're running. Now, is it stupid of me to assume that if they got all that work done, that they know the specs of their vehicle? Of course, most people that do this kind of stuff to their vehicles, they know what went on, right? They know what they got the mechanic to do, or they know what they did themselves. But every once in a while, I'll find someone that goes cross-eyed when I ask them about the size of their tires or the offset of their wheels. Okay, I can see that I'm starting to sound condescending now, and that's not my intent. If you bought your truck lifted and drove it off the lot, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, hey, we both drive lifted trucks, we have something in common. This just the difference is, I know exactly what I'm running. I know what I had the mechanic do, and I know what I've done myself, and any question anyone asks me about this truck, I'm able to answer. And that just is something that's important to me. Now, this final point kind of rolls off the last one. The guys and girls that know what's done to their truck, they're actually fairly honest and open about it. Now, like I said before, when I'm driving, I'm not going to drive up so that you can see my vehicle, or I'm not going to risk my safety slowing down or speeding up to see your vehicle. But if we're in a parking lot and I turn and I see your truck or your Jeep and I like it, I'm probably going to walk up to you, compliment you on your vehicle, and ask you a few questions. And you know what? I found the vast majority of lifted truck people don't mind this at all. In fact, they're proud to talk about their ride. Now, if you're watching this video, you're one of two people. Either you're deciding whether you want to lift your truck or not, or you already have. And now, of course, as I mentioned before, I have not listed all the points I could for this type of video. That would be too long and no one's going to watch a 25-minute video. But if you have points about your lifted truck that I didn't mention here or in the last video, let me know. Please leave those comments down below. I know I'm not the only one driving one of these, and everyone else has their own perspective and their own experiences. So please leave a comment below. Let me know how it's been for you driving a lifted vehicle as a daily. As always, I want to give a big thanks to the people that watch my videos on a regular basis. I mean, you guys are making this channel grow, and I can't believe there's hundreds of people that want to listen to anything I have to say. And I know hundreds is not a big number. This is still a small channel. There's channels with millions of followers. I get that. But this channel is growing, and it's growing way faster than I thought it would, and it's thanks to you. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I hope you found this video helpful. By the way, I have a ton of 2nd generation Tundra or 5th generation 4Runner videos on here. There's probably something of use for you, so you may as well subscribe, stick around, watch a few more videos. Oh, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you know when I put out another do-it-yourself or modification video. And that's a wrap. Peace.